Toronto, an early March morning. Pale golden sunlight streamed through the wide glass window, casting a warm glow over Emma Watson's small but elegant apartment. Outside, the distillery district was slowly waking up, a place where the charm of the old blended seamlessly with the modern, with its cobblestone streets and artisanal cafes. Emma stood by the window, her hands gently brushing the lush rosemary sprigs in a white ceramic pot. Tending to her little garden had always been her way of finding peace before diving into the whirlwind of work. My mornings always start like this: hot coffee, a fleeting glance at the Toronto sky, and a few quiet minutes to brace myself for the day ahead. But today, something feels different. Emma picked up her coffee mug and walked to her desk. There, a silver-framed photo leaned silently against the wall. It captured a family moment from last Christmas. Her parents stood at the center, their faces beaming as they looked at Sophia, her younger sister, a renowned financial expert on Bay Street. Emma was in the photo too, but she was pushed to the edge, her smile polite yet distant. She touched the frame, and a flood of old memories rushed back. A Sunday dinner the week before, at her parents' grand house in Forest Hill. Mother smiling, setting a roast beef platter on the table. "Sophia, darling, tell us about your nomination," Sophia feigning modesty, though her eyes gleamed with pride. "It's just a nomination for Financial Expert of the Year, Mom." "No big deal." Father nodding, brimming with pride. "Emma, you should take a page from Sophia's book and push yourself more. You've got potential, you just lack ambition." Emma tightened her grip on her cutlery, but kept smiling. A familiar voice echoed in her mind. "Same as always, I'm always the second choice." Despite being a senior auditor at a top firm, despite building her career from the ground up without anyone's help, she was perpetually overshadowed by her sister. Emma set the photo down, a fleeting look of weariness in her eyes. She raised the mug to her lips, but the coffee had gone cold. "I've been used to this since I was a kid. Sophia's always the center of attention. But does it really matter? I have a steady job, a peaceful life. Or at least, I thought I did." Later, at the glass skyscraper on Bay Street, where Emma worked at a prestigious auditing firm. The morning office buzzed with energy, meetings, the clatter of keyboards, tense eyes glued to computer screens. Jessica, a young intern, approached Emma's desk with a nervous look, clutching a stack of files. Jessica hesitant. "Emma, could you check this tax report for me? I'm not sure about some of the figures." Emma nodded and took the files. Her colleagues respected her not because she was seen as a natural genius, like Sophia, but because she'd earned her place through hard work. Emma smiling calmly. "Of course, Jessica. Sit down, I'll walk you through it." As she reviewed the report, her gaze drifted to the skyscrapers visible through the glass. Sophia's office was out there somewhere. For a moment, she wondered if she was on the right path, or if she'd been lost from the start. That evening, Emma left the office as light rain began to fall on Toronto's wet streets. She hurried to the subway station, phone in hand. A Facebook notification popped up. "Congratulations to Sophia Watson, winner of Financial Expert of the Year." A testament to her talent and dedication. The photo showed Sophia on a glittering stage, her parents clapping proudly from the front row. Emma froze amidst the crowd. Why did she feel such a deep, hollow emptiness? They went to her award ceremony. Would they have done the same if it were me? She shook her head, trying to dismiss the thought, but a nagging unease clung to her. Something was coming. Something that could change everything. Toronto, a cold, drizzly night. King Street West, where skyscrapers mingled with small cafes, was settling into quiet. It was late, but a few hurried figures still dotted the streets, heading home after a long day. Emma Watson pulled her coat tighter, rushing toward the subway. Rain fell in tiny, shimmering droplets under the streetlights. She pulled out her phone, another Facebook notification. "Congratulations to Sophia Watson, the year's top financial expert. A night of well-deserved recognition." The photo: Sophia on a dazzling stage in a glamorous gown, her parents beaming with pride from the front row. Emma stopped. Her heart skipped a beat. Her stomach twisted with an indescribable void. A car horn blared. Startled, she stepped forward as the crosswalk light turned green. But a blinding headlight flashed from her left. The air shattered with sound. The roar of an engine, tires screeching on wet pavement, a violent crash, and then nothingness. Emma's body was flung into the air. Everything blurred, then faded to black. A stark white room, the steady beep of a heart monitor. The sharp smell of antiseptic hung heavy. The hospital lights stung Emma's eyes as she slowly opened them. Pain shot through her right leg. She realized it was immobilized in a hard cast, her head bandaged, every breath aching in her chest. A stranger's voice spoke nearby. Doctor calm and steady. Ms. Watson, your right leg is fractured. You have multiple soft tissue injuries, and we need to operate tonight. Emma tried to swallow, but her throat was parched. She gripped the blanket, a flicker of panic rising. Her voice cracked as she spoke. Emma weakly. My family, do they know? Nurse nodding gently. We've contacted them. Just then, her phone rang. Caller ID, Mom. Emma picked up with trembling hands. Mother, hesitant Emma, we heard. But the silence stretched like an eternity. Today is Sophia's award ceremony. It's the biggest moment of her career. Emma clutched the phone, her heart constricting as if crushed. Father Colder, there are doctors taking care of you, right? We'll visit tomorrow. Tomorrow. She went still. Her throat tightened. A shaky breath escaped her. They'd chosen Sophia again. The call ended. Emma set the phone down, staring blankly at the white hospital ceiling. Her heartbeat echoed in the empty room. The TV flickered on. And the Financial Expert of the Year award goes to Sophia Watson. Emma stared at the screen. Sophia on stage, accepting her award in a stunning gown. Thunderous applause. Her parents in the front row, faces glowing with pride. They were celebrating while she lay here, alone, awaiting surgery. The next morning, Toronto Hospital. Pale light filtered through the room's blinds, reflecting off the cold white tiles. Emma woke to a dull pain radiating through her body, but it wasn't the physical ache that choked her. It was the emptiness inside. Her phone buzzed, shattering the silence. Mother panicked, voice breaking. Emma! We need to see you now! Sophia's been arrested. Emma held her breath. She blinked, struggling to process the words. Breaking news. On the hospital TV, a red headline scrolled. Financial expert Sophia Watson arrested for multi-million-dollar fraud. News anchor Sophia Watson, a rising star in finance, was detained by Toronto police this morning on charges of embezzling client funds. She's suspected of using the money for lavish spending, luxury real estate, and expensive jewelry collections. The hospital door burst open. Her parents rushed in, breathless, faces ashen. Her mother's usually neat hair was a tangled mess. Mother gripping Emma's hand, pleading, You have to help Sophia. The police are demanding $3 million for bail. We've mortgaged the house, but it's not enough. We need your savings. Emma stared at her mother. Her throat tightened. She wanted to laugh, a bitter, hollow laugh. Emma hoarse, eyes blazing with hurt. Yesterday, when I was lying on the operating table alone, you didn't even care. But today, when Sophia's in trouble, you show up instantly for my money. Father angry, voice low and forceful. Emma, this is family. You can't turn your back on your own blood. She let out a soft, icy laugh, one that had never crossed her face before. Emma, slowly, firmly. No, Dad. You turned your back on me long ago. Amid the tension, the door swung open again. A man stepped in. Lucas Turner, a lawyer from Emma's firm. Lucas calm, but authoritative. Mr. and Mrs. Watson, I regret to inform you that Emma's accounts are legally protected. Any transactions from her savings require her written consent. Her mother froze. Her father clenched his fists. Mother nearly sobbing, trembling. Emma, are you really going to let Sophia go to jail? She's your sister. Emma shook her head slowly, her eyes unwavering. Emma resolute. No. Sophia chose this path. And she has to face the consequences, just like you've chosen how to treat me all these years. A defining moment. Emma leaned down and signed the form rejecting financial support. She set the pen down. A strange lightness washed over her. She looked up, meeting her parents' eyes for the first time without hope, only release. Lucas standing, polite but firm. We'll let Emma rest now. Please excuse yourselves. Her parents rose, their faces dazed. As her mother left, she whispered weakly, You'll regret this, Emma. Emma didn't respond. Only silence and a faint smile on her lips. The door closed. Outside, dawn was breaking, casting the first tender rays of light onto the hospital window. A pristine morning in Toronto. Spring sunlight pierced through the trees lining the street, scattering warm patches onto the stone sidewalk. Outside Mount Sinai Hospital, Emma took a deep breath, savoring the fresh air she'd craved during weeks confined to a bed. This isn't just the day I leave the hospital. It's the day I take back control of my life. A taxi waited, but Emma didn't rush. She wanted to walk, even with crutches as her temporary support. On the back seat, that morning's newspaper lay beside her. Headline, Financial expert Sophia Watson, sentenced to 15 years for large-scale fraud. Emma stared at her sister's photo in a prison uniform, the once proud face now hollow with defeat. The driver glanced at her through the rearview mirror, curious. Driver. Sophia Watson. She was a big star on Wall Street, right? Emma quietly. Yes, she was. She folded the paper, but there was no bitterness or resentment left. Just acceptance. A fresh start from zero. Emma's small apartment in the Distillery District felt empty, but serene. She opened the door, the faint scent of dried herbs lingering in the air. The potted plants by the window had yellowed from neglect, but that was okay. She could begin again. Stepping slowly inside, she stood before a large mirror. The reflection no longer showed a forgotten woman, but one awakening. Emma whispering to herself, I can do this. Her phone rang unexpectedly. It was her mother. She stared at the glowing screen, the familiar number flashing. Part of her wanted to answer. Another part remembered the lonely night in the hospital, the countless times she'd been overlooked. She took a deep breath and silenced the call. Not now. 3 months later. Emma sat in a cozy cafe in the financial district, across from Lucas, the lawyer who'd helped her protect her rights after Sophia's arrest. Lucas stirring his espresso, smiling. So, you're really going to start your own business? Emma nodding firmly. I've spent my life working for others' approval. Now I want to do something for myself. Lucas slid a stack of documents across the table, the contract to establish Emma's independent accounting firm. Lucas. Watson and Associates sounds pretty promising. Emma smiling confidently. It's not just a company. It's a statement that I'm no longer anyone's shadow. She signed the contract. A new chapter officially began. A cold afternoon on a Toronto cafe rooftop, Emma's final confrontation with her parents. The sky was overcast, early winter winds slicing through the air, turning her breath into thin wisps. She pulled her coat tighter, maintaining her calm as she watched her parents approach through the glass door. They sat across from her, their eyes anxious, tinged with a plea. Mother trembling. Emma, how are you? We haven't seen you in months. Emma coolly, nodding. I'm fine. And I assume this isn't just a family reunion. Her mother placed a stack of papers on the table. Mother rushing, tense. Emma, we need your help. Your father's company is in crisis. After Sophia's scandal, our family's reputation is ruined. Major clients pulled out. The bank froze our accounts. Without money, we'll lose everything. A long silence stretched. The wind carried the scent of coffee and cold air. Emma staring at them, resolute. Lose everything or finally face the consequences of your own choices. Father gruff, irritated. Emma, this is your family. Do you really want to see us fall apart? Emma, a faint, bitter smile. Family? Where were you when I was alone in the hospital, waiting for surgery? When I needed a word of support, who turned away? Don't talk to me about family when I've been a shadow in your eyes my whole life. Her words struck like lightning. Her mother broke into tears. Her father was speechless, fists clenched. Mother, one last plea. Emma, forgive us. We're not perfect, but we're still your parents. If you help us, things can go back to how they were. Emma placed her hand on the documents and slid them back. Emma, no, Mom, I don't want things to go back to how they were. This time, I choose myself. She stood, slowly putting on her coat, her gaze steady. Father furious, nearly shouting, If you walk away today, you're no longer my daughter. Emma paused for a second, then looked straight at him. Emma, maybe I never really was. She turned and walked away, leaving behind their pleas, their angry stares, and the weight of her past. On King Street West, Emma moved slowly through the bustling crowd. A strange relief bloomed in her chest she'd truly let go. Her phone buzzed. A text from Lucas. Congrats! Watson & Associates is officially licensed. Dinner tonight to celebrate? Emma smiled, gazing at the colorful sunset sky. A new beginning was truly underway. A gleaming sign reading Watson & Associates Chartered Accountants marked the entrance. A team of young, passionate employees bustled about with files and laptops, the air electric with the energy of a growing business. Emma, now CEO of her own accounting firm, stepped out of a meeting room with a satisfied smile. A contract with a major investment fund had just been signed, a milestone for her new career. Lucas on the phone, excited. Congrats, Emma! This deal will take Watson & Associates to the next level. Emma softly, Thanks, Lucas. This is just the beginning. That evening, in Emma's New Yorkville apartment, not lavish or ostentatious, but warm and stylish. Her favorite books lined the shelves. A bouquet of lavender perfumed the kitchen table. She opened a bottle of wine, treating herself to a quiet night after weeks of hard work. The evening news mentioned Sophia's trial. The once celebrated financial genius now faced a lengthy prison sentence. Emma glanced at the screen, but there was no pain or regret, just calm. At a small riverside eatery, Emma celebrated with Lucas, Jessica, her trusty assistant, and a few close friends. Jessica beaming, It's been a year since you started the company. Are you proud? Emma smiling, eyes bright. Proud and above all, free. Laughter filled the warm space. No more family dinners where she was sidelined. No more comparisons or judgment. Just people who truly valued her, the family she'd chosen. Late that night, Emma strolled along the riverfront, city lights shimmering on the water. She paused, taking a deep breath, feeling Toronto, the city of opportunities, embrace her. True success isn't about others' recognition. It's not money or fame. It's living the way I want, with the people I cherish. This life is mine, and I'll write my own story. Sometimes success isn't about achieving something grand. It's about finding your own worth. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more meaningful tales.